Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 10th of June, comes to you from London. And quite a lot of red on the screen this morning. We're seeing the dollar is up. That means a lot of the other currencies are red against the dollar. But we are still bearish on all three time frames, my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart, long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market. We haven't yet activated this big downside target, so I'm 23% lower, but the other target that was put in 2016, that's a long time ago now, is still there in place. We've got a downside target, some 5% lower on the short-term chart. But for the moment, the dollar is teetering along in a sideways range. That means the euro is looking steady at 121.65 and bullish on all three time frames, just holding the bull trend there on the short term. Sterling's fallen back a little bit against the dollar, so we are just seeing weaker sterling there, down 0.25% this morning, but still looking strong medium and long term. And on the short-term chart, we're falling away against the euro as well. Bitcoin sitting at 36,800, back into short-term bullish territory. 30,000 does seem to be the level of support, and that would unwind the big upside target that we've talked about. The S&P 500 index was down slightly yesterday. The Nasdaq also just struggling at the moment to get higher than those April highs. If we look at the futures this morning, down slightly on the mini S&P, and on the Nasdaq down slightly as well. Market will open flat based on the futures at the moment. The VIX volatility is unchanged at just below 18. Steady low there for the fear index, so not much to worry about. The FTSE future is up 0.1% this morning. The DAX in Germany is down 0.33%. And the CAC Courant is down 0.16%. Tokyo is down 0.1%, 0.01%, very little change there. The Chinese market, the Shanghai Composite, was up just over 0.5%, bullish on all three time frames. And the Sensex in India was up just over 0.33%, also bullish on all three time frames. And the Aussie market was up as well. So Asia performing better than Europe this morning. Quick look at the soft commodities. We've got wheat down 0.4%, corn up 0.7%. These markets still looking very strong, and a lot of talk of inflationary pressures because of these staples going up like this. Gold little changed at 1881, just ticking into short-term bearish territory, not quite there yet. Silver sitting at 27.62, so that's quite key as well. US 10-year yields just below the 150 mark now, finding support around this level. Those targets that were given were met. We do have downside targets further lower than here. The interesting thing is the upside target would only be deactivated with a move below 1%. Hard to see that happening in bond markets. And if you look at the 30-year bond, much the same picture there. Looking at the energy mix now, Brent Crude just struggling at this $72 mark. We did nudge nearly 73 yesterday, but we're back at 72. This seems to be a line of action through the price here. We do have a downside target back to 70.10. Upside targets, the 71.83 met, 77.80 is still there, and this will give us an upside target if we pull back and go higher. But crude does seem to be struggling to just push into those higher mid-70s levels. And the same is pretty true of WTI, of course. US nat gas ticking up to 316, looking stronger there. Global gas markets actually looking pretty strong generally. If we look at emissions, 53.37, this has been the big story this week, breaking higher there. Just pausing this morning, but we have got this 57.60 target in place. And coal actually making new highs as well yesterday. The UK future, we're starting to get enough data now to start doing some charts. And we have got a couple of upside targets here. This could produce a new downside target. On the very short term, on the 60-minute chart, we are slightly bearish below the cloud. And if we look at the European emissions, we're actually bullish above the cloud. So it's quite interesting. The gas market, MBP, is down this morning, but looking strong, having broken higher, just breaking higher there. TTF, a clearer break higher. Looking very strong there, so gas market's looking pretty strong. German power is up 0.6% this morning to 66 euros, so again looking like a recovery out of this ascending triangle. Well, it's actually a symmetrical triangle and looking like a recovery from there, so that's looking pretty good. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.